Have you ever wondered why certain people just won't leave your mind? It's as if your thoughts are a magnet, always returning to that specific person. Does this sound familiar? But what's behind this? Is there a spiritual or energetic explanation for this phenomenon? Now, imagine this. You're in the middle of an everyday activity, and suddenly, the thought of someone invades your mind without warning. Some believe that when we think a lot about someone, that person is also thinking about us. Is this true? Or is there something deeper happening? In this video, we will explore the possible spiritual and energetic reasons behind why some people dominate our thoughts. We will discover the invisible connections that might be linking us to these people. Want to know more? Watch until the end and prepare to be surprised. So, what exactly are these spiritual connections we hear so much about? Imagine that we all have a sort of soul family, a group of souls with whom we have deep and lasting ties. These ties are not limited by time and space. They cross lives and reincarnations, forming what some call soul contracts. But what does this have to do with persistent thoughts about someone? Think of a spiritual connection as an invisible thread that ties us to other people. These threads are stronger with those who are part of our soul family. When we have a soul contract with someone, it's as if we agreed before being born to meet and learn together in this life. It's interesting, isn't it? And that's why sometimes we can't stop thinking about certain people. Let's make this more tangible. Imagine a moment when you met someone and instantly felt an inexplicable connection. Like you knew this person from somewhere, even though it was the first time you met. These are marks of a deep spiritual connection. It's as if our souls recognize each other even though our minds are still trying to understand. And here we enter the famous soulmates and twin flames. Have you heard of them? Soulmates are those with whom we have a deep and harmonious connection. They come to teach us important lessons and help us grow. Meeting a soulmate is like finding a part of yourself in another person. It's that feeling of comfort, like you're finally home. Twin flames, on the other hand, are a bit different. They are our other halves, on an energetic level. The intensity of this connection is so strong that it can often be almost overwhelming. Thinking constantly about a twin flame is almost inevitable due to the depth of this bond. Encounters with twin flames can be intense and transformative, causing profound changes in our lives. It's like looking in the mirror and seeing not just your reflection, but the depth of your soul. Have you ever felt this? A connection so strong that it seems you share thoughts and emotions, even at a distance? Maybe it's a sign that this person has an important role in your spiritual journey. It can be scary, and at the same time, incredibly beautiful. These connections challenge us, transform us, and make us grow in ways we never imagined. But how do we distinguish between these connections and a simple obsession or personal interest? This is crucial for our peace of mind. Often the key lies in how these thoughts make us feel. Genuine spiritual connections bring a sense of purpose and learning, while obsessions can generate anxiety and confusion. Pay attention to your feelings, as they are the most reliable guide on this path. Have you ever had that feeling that someone is thinking about you, even without any concrete proof? As if there were a kind of subtle telepathy connecting you? Well, this might be linked to the subconscious vibrations and energetic ties we create with other people. But how does this work exactly? Imagine that every thought we have is like a wave of energy. When we think intensely about someone, we are sending these energy waves in that person's direction. And surprisingly, this energy can be picked up, consciously or unconsciously. It's as if our minds are in an invisible dance, exchanging signals and messages subtly. This idea leads us to think about quantum physics, where everything in the universe is connected through a network of energy. Our thoughts, feelings, and intentions create vibrations that travel through this network. When we repeatedly think about someone, we are reinforcing an energetic bond, similar to an invisible thread that connects our minds and hearts. But what happens when this thread becomes stronger? Well, have you ever found yourself thinking about someone, and shortly after, that person messages or calls you? It seems like a coincidence, but it can be much more than that. Our thoughts and emotions can create a kind of energetic signal that the other person picks up, leading them to connect back with us. I'll give an example. Imagine you are sitting in a cafe absorbed in thoughts about an old friend. Suddenly your phone rings, and it's exactly that person. It's almost magical, isn't it? This kind of synchronicity can be explained by the energetic ties we build with those who are important to us. These ties are not just a matter of physical proximity. They transcend time and space, allowing us to connect with people who are miles away. When two individuals have a strong, energetic connection, they can feel each other's emotions and thoughts, even without verbal communication. It's as if their souls are conversing on a level beyond the conscious. This exchange of energy can be both positive and negative. When we are in tune with someone who does us good, these vibrations are empowering and bring us joy and comfort. However, when we are stuck on negative thoughts about someone, these ties can become heavy and draining. That's why it's essential to be aware of the type of energy we are sending and receiving. But how can we deal with these energetic ties healthily? First, it's important to recognize when we are thinking obsessively about someone and evaluate why this is happening. Does this person have a significant role in our current or past life? Or are we projecting our desires and fears onto this connection? Practicing meditation and visualization can help clear and balance our energies. Imagine yourself enveloped in a purifying light that dissolves any negative energy, leaving only the ties that are beneficial and strengthening. Keeping a journal can also be helpful to better understand our thought patterns and identify which connections are healthy. Our subconscious vibrations and energetic ties are an integral part of our human experience. They remind us that we are all interconnected, not just through our physical bodies, but also through our thoughts and emotions. Have you ever wondered why sometimes we can't stop thinking about someone even without a deep spiritual explanation? Sometimes the answer is simpler than we imagine: personal interest and natural attraction. But how do these factors influence our thoughts and feelings? Our subconscious is a powerful part of our mind, controlling most of our thoughts and behaviors without us being aware of it. When someone attracts us or sparks our interest, the subconscious tends to fixate on that person. This happens because the subconscious is always seeking what brings us pleasure, safety, and well-being. And often, an interesting conversation, a meaningful encounter, or even a simple smile can be enough to trigger this fixation. Think about the last time you met someone who really caught your attention. It might have been an engaging conversation, a kind gesture, or an instant connection. These moments are recorded in our subconscious, and without us realizing it, we begin to revisit these memories frequently. It's as if our brain is saying, "This was important, pay attention." But why does this happen? Well, our brain is programmed to seek connections and create bonds. When we find someone who resonates with us in some way, our subconscious goes into action to ensure we don't forget about that person. It's a kind of social survival mechanism, a way to ensure we cultivate relationships that can be beneficial for us. And here comes natural attraction. We are not just talking about physical attraction, but also emotional and intellectual attraction. It might be that person who always knows what to say to make you smile, or someone whose worldview fascinates you. This attraction creates a magnetic field, causing your thoughts to gravitate around this person. Let's take a practical example. Imagine you just met someone at a party. You had a deep conversation about something you both love. In the following days, you find yourself thinking about this person several times. This is natural attraction in action. Your subconscious is highlighting the importance of that interaction and encouraging you to seek more moments like that. Of course, this isn't always a negative thing. Frequently thinking about someone can be the first step in building a meaningful connection. However, it is crucial to be aware of when this interest is turning into an obsession. There is a thin line between thinking about someone because you are genuinely interested and being so fixated that it begins to affect your peace of mind. One way to discern between healthy interest and obsession is to pay attention to how these thoughts make you feel. If thinking about someone brings you joy, motivation, or a sense of peace, it's a good sign. But if these thoughts cause anxiety, insecurity, or distract you from your daily responsibilities, it might be time to reflect on the reason for this fixation. Recognizing the role of the subconscious in this process is essential for our mental and emotional health. After all, understanding why someone dominates our thoughts can give us the power to better control our feelings and actions. By noticing these patterns, we can consciously decide how we want to act towards these people and how we want these connections to influence our lives. So, next time you find yourself unable to get someone out of your head, ask yourself, is it genuine interest or simply a projection of my desires and fears? Thinking frequently about someone can be both a blessing and a burden. Therefore, it is crucial to recognize the reasons behind these persistent thoughts and learn how to manage them. But how can we distinguish between a spiritual connection, personal interest, or mere obsession? And how can we deal with these thoughts in a healthy way? First, we need to develop awareness of our own thought patterns. Ask yourself, why is this person always on my mind? Is it something they said or did? Maybe a specific quality they have? Or could there be a deeper and inexplicable connection between us? This is the first step to understanding what is happening within you. An effective way to explore these questions is by keeping a journal. Write down your thoughts and feelings about this person. By doing this, you will begin to notice patterns and triggers that bring these thoughts to the surface. Maybe you realize that you think about this person when you're bored, anxious, or feeling lonely. Or perhaps there's something deeper, like a specific event or memory that constantly arises. If persistent thoughts are the result of a spiritual connection, they usually come with a feeling of peace and purpose. You might feel that there is something to be learned or experienced through this connection. These thoughts, although constant, tend to be enriching and stimulate personal growth. On the other hand, if these thoughts are causing anxiety or obsession, it might be a sign that you are projecting your own fears and desires onto this person. In these situations, it is important to practice self-compassion and remember that it's okay to have complex feelings. Recognizing these emotions without judgment is crucial to begin managing these thoughts healthily. A useful technique is mindful meditation. By dedicating a few minutes each day to meditate, you can learn to observe your thoughts without attaching to them. Imagine your thoughts as clouds passing by in the sky. You notice them, but you don't need to hold on to them. This detachment can bring clarity and help reduce the intensity of obsessive thoughts. Additionally, visualization practices can be very powerful. Visualize yourself cutting any negative or obsessive energetic ties that might be draining your energy. Imagine a purifying light enveloping you and the other person, cleansing any negativity and leaving only a healthy and balanced connection. This practice can help restore your inner peace. Another important aspect is redirecting your energy to activities that bring you joy and satisfaction. Engage in hobbies, spend time with friends and family, or dedicate yourself to learning something new. When we occupy our minds with activities that do us good, we reduce the space for unwanted thoughts. Finally, consider the importance of open communication. If possible, talk to the person who dominates your thoughts. Sometimes an honest conversation can clarify misunderstandings and relieve emotional tension. If it's not feasible or appropriate to talk directly to the person, writing a letter, even if you never send it, can be a way to express and release your feelings. Recognizing and managing persistent thoughts is an ongoing process. It involves self-reflection, acceptance, and the willingness to make positive changes in your life. Remember, you have the power to choose which thoughts you want to nurture and which you need to let go of. After understanding and managing our persistent thoughts about someone, the next step is to strengthen these connections in a positive and healthy way. After all, our relationships have a significant impact on our emotional and spiritual well-being. But how can we nurture these connections so that they bring mutual benefits? First, it's important to focus on positive thoughts and feelings about the person. This doesn't mean ignoring problems or difficulties, but rather choosing to see and value positive qualities and the potential for growth in the relationship. When we cultivate a positive vision, we attract similar energies, creating a cycle of positivity and harmony. Visualization techniques can be very helpful in this process. Imagine the person enveloped in a golden light, symbolizing love, peace, and protection. Visualize happy moments and positive interactions between you, reinforcing the connection in a healthy way. These visualizations not only strengthen the spiritual bond, but can also positively influence the dynamic between you in the real world. Open communication is another fundamental pillar to strengthen positive connections. Be honest and transparent about your feelings and thoughts. Often, misunderstandings arise from a lack of communication or wrong assumptions. Having sincere conversations can resolve conflicts, clarify intentions, and build a foundation of mutual trust. Moreover, share common activities and interests. Engaging in joint activities strengthens the bond and creates shared memories. It can be something simple like a walk, a hobby, or even a trip. The important thing is to spend quality time together, allowing the relationship to grow and flourish naturally. Practicing empathy and respect is essential. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. Try to understand their perspectives and feelings. Respect their opinions and personal space. Empathy creates an environment of acceptance and understanding where both feel valued and heard. If the connection you want to strengthen is a spiritual or energetic relationship, practices like joint meditation or energy healing sessions can be extremely beneficial. Meditating together creates a synchronicity of energies, reinforcing the spiritual bond. Healing sessions, such as Reiki or crystal therapy, can help clear energy blockages and harmonize the vibration between you. It is vital to maintain a balance between nurturing the connection and preserving your individuality. Strengthening a relationship does not mean losing yourself in it. Keep your own passions, interests, and personal space. A healthy connection is one where both grow together but also individually. Our interactions with others are not always positive. Sometimes persistent thoughts about someone can be draining and even harmful. Therefore, it is crucial to learn how to protect yourself from these unwanted energies. But how can we do this effectively? First, we need to recognize when we are being affected by negative energies. Common signs include feeling tired, irritable for no apparent reason, and difficulty concentrating. When these feelings arise, it's important to investigate if they are linked to a specific person or situation. An effective practice is energy cleansing. Imagine that your body is a sponge that can absorb both positive and negative energies. To get rid of the latter, visualize yourself under a waterfall of white light, purifying and cleansing all negativity. Some prefer using the technique of a coarse salt bath, known for its purifying properties, but I do not recommend it. Another powerful method is the visualization technique to create protective barriers. Imagine yourself surrounded by a bubble of golden or white light. This bubble is a barrier that allows positive energies to enter, but blocks the negative ones. Visualize this bubble around you whenever you feel the need for extra protection. Grounding practices are also essential. Spend some time in nature, walk barefoot on the grass or earth, and feel the earth's energy flowing through you. This helps to discharge accumulated negative energy and renew your strength with the stabilizing energy of nature. The use of crystals is another effective way of energetic protection. Crystals like black tourmaline, onyx, and amethyst are known for their protective and purifying properties. Carry one of these crystals with you or place them in your home to create an environment of constant protection. It is equally important to practice self-care. Maintaining a healthy routine that includes exercise, a balanced diet, and moments of relaxation strengthens your personal energy and makes you less susceptible to negative influences. When we are physically and emotionally healthy, our aura and energy become stronger. Another valuable technique is the cord-cutting meditation. Often, we are energetically linked to people through invisible cords. If these cords are draining, we can visualize and mentally cut them. Imagine scissors or a sword of light cutting these cords, releasing any negative energy associated with them. Practicing gratitude and positive thinking also acts as a form of protection. When we focus on positive aspects and are grateful, we elevate our energetic vibration, which naturally repels lower and negative energies. Finally, consider establishing clear boundaries in your relationships. Don't be afraid to say no and protect your time and energy. People who respect your boundaries are the ones worth keeping around. Establishing clear boundaries also sends an energetic message that you value and take care of yourself. Protecting against unwanted energies is not a luxury but a necessity to maintain our emotional and spiritual well-being. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel and take the opportunity to watch the video that is appearing on the screen.